Good day everyone, I'm here to discuss my CO2 assessment of MGMT 1. So, task number 1, code convention applicable. Task number 2, code convention applicable regulation requirements. So, number 1, maintenance of the ship and equipment. Because it states that the company should establish procedures to ensure that the is maintained, it means that the ship should be maintained first before voyage in order for the cargo, the crew, and the ship to be always safe. Number 2, resources and personnel. It states that 6.2.2 that appropriately managed in order to encompass all aspects of maintaining safe operation on board. Number 3, master responsibility and authority. Because it is stated that 5.1.1 that implementing safety and environmental protection policy of the company, it means that the captain should have contacted the company security officer during the attack because it's part of the implementation of safety in the ship. Resources and the personnel. It is stated that in 6.3 that company should establish procedures to ensure that the new personnel and personnel transferred to new assignments, it fits the description because they are newly embarked or OSD should have been guided already of what to do on board. Number 5, documentation. It is stated in 11.2.3 that obsolete documents are promptly removed. It means that expired documents should be removed right away because they don't have any purpose anymore because they are expired. 10. Maintenance of the ship and equipment. Since the lifeboat is one of the equipment that are used in emergency situation, it should be maintained as well. It is stated in 10.2.1 that inspection are held at appropriate intervals. It means that every equipment in the ship should be checked every once in a while. Task number 3, 3.1 section A 11.1, mandatory minimum requirements for certification officers in charge of a navigational watch on ship of 500 gross tonnage or more. 3.2 section A 11-2, mandatory minimum requirements for the certification of matters and shipmates on ships of 500 tonnage or more. 3.3 section A 3.1, mandatory minimum requirements of certification of officer in charge of engineering watch in a manned engine room, designated duty engineers in a periodically unmanned engine room. 3.4 section A 3.2, mandatory minimum requirements for certification of chief engineer officers and second engineer officers of ship powered by main propulsion machinery of 3,000 kilowatts propulsion power of more. 3.5 section A 5.1.1.1, mandatory minimum requirements for the training and qualification of master officer and ratings on tankers. Officers and rating assigned specific duties and responsibilities related to cargo or cargo equipment on tankers shall have completed an approved shore-based and firefighting course in addition to the training required by regulation 6 or -1 and should have completed at least 3 months of approved seagoing service on tankers in order to acquire adequate knowledge of safe operational practice. So that's all my CO2 assessment of NGMT.